Hey guys, so I'm going to be doing a short series as Baldur's Gate's coming out next week, and we found out that we'll be able to multi-class and respec all of the origin characters, but that in the dialogue and cutscenes their class will be the same. So that being said, I decided to go over every origin character and talk about what classes would be best to multi-class with them, assuming we keep their base class as the same class. And also, they no longer require you to have, at least compared to 5e, there's not a requirement anymore for ability scores. So like, for example, normally if you want to play a sorcerer, you need at least a 13 in charisma. That's no longer a thing. So yeah, at least in Baldur's Gate. And so that being said, let's kind of go over this. I'm in D&D Beyond. This isn't exactly how it is in 5e. I mean, how it is in Baldur's Gate 3. This is 5e, but obviously it's based on that. There's some different changes and everything. I also have the list of different subclasses available over here on Fexture Life. Cleric is one of the classes with the most subclasses. It is the class with most subclasses. Shadowheart starts out as a Trickery Domain cleric because clerics pick their subclass at level 1. And Trickery Domain, I think, is a really good specialization, a really good subclass, but I feel like it doesn't multi-class very well. It's not that it doesn't multi-class very well, it's more that it's so good that it's better to just be a full Trickery Domain cleric. The only class that I feel like might go well with it is the rogue, but that's more of like you dip in Trickery Domain and you go full rogue, because the rogue needs advantage or be hidden to do sneak attack, and Trickery Domain with their Invoke Duplicity feature, they're able to basically, if you go here, basically, here you can read that. You can pause and read that if you want. But basically, it's an action, unfortunately. But you have this thing that you summon, and if it's usually an illusion of yourself. If you are next to it, then you get advantage on all your attacks, and so that could be fun for rogues. But I'm gonna talk about the multi-classing that I am interested in. I'm gonna go over mostly two different kinds, two different varieties. If you're wanting to go for like a damage dealer that does more like attacks, particularly what I think is best would be ranged attacks. Okay, so Druid, Monk, and Ranger are the best classes to multi-class Cleric with because they all are Wisdom based. The Druid being Wisdom based the most, whereas Monk and Ranger are Dex and Wisdom based. I honestly think the best pick is Ranger, and I think the best subclass combination is if you go to the War domain, you get a bonus action War Priest level 1, so you don't even have to have that many levels of War Priest if you don't want. Level 1 War Priest ability, you can make a bonus action attack wisdom modifier times per day. So if you have a 20 wisdom, you can make a bonus action weapon attack 5 times a day. That's really good, especially if you have 5 levels of Ranger and you have extra attack. That means 5 times a day you can make 3 attacks in a turn. And then Gloomstalker Ranger, which is available in Baldur's Gate 3. We haven't seen it. It wasn't in early access, so we don't know exactly how it'll be implemented. But they have the Dread Ambusher feature. So you have to go at least 3 levels in Ranger. I would recommend 5 levels in Ranger to get the extra attack. And basically, to summarize this, the main thing that there's a lot of things that happen with Dread Ambusher, but the main feature we're looking at is if you take the attack action on the first turn of combat, you can make an additional weapon attack as part of that action. So at level 5, level 6 in our case, because you'll be War Priest, you have 1 level War Priest, you'll be able to make your regular attack, your extra attack, because you're level 5 ranger, and then with the first round of combat, you get one more attack. In that third attack, you get advantage on it automatically, and you get 1d8 damage, extra damage. And then with War Priest, you bonus action attack again. So at level 6, you're getting 4 attacks. And because Ranger is a half-caster, wisdom base, you're still getting spells. You're still getting, like, pretty good. Like by level 5 Ranger, I think you have 2nd level spells? Yeah, you have 2nd level spells. And that's already progressing with your 1st level of spells. And so you'll have higher spell slots than you would as a full Ranger. And then you get all the cleric spells as well, 1st level cleric spells. Druid I really wouldn't recommend, not because Druid is a bad multiclass, but there's a lot of overlap between cleric and Druid. I would say maybe look into Circle of Spores. Circle of Spores has some fun stuff you can do with it. The only 3 Druid subclasses are going to be in Baldur's Gate 3. Circle of Spores, Land, and Moon. Circle of Spores has like this cool like AoE thing you can do where you do damage to people around you as a reaction. And then as far as Monk goes, what we've been told is that Monk has been reworked significantly. I've heard, I don't have any actual like exact information, but what I've heard is that they've been given more key points. Normally how it works is monks, their main resource is key points, and you get 1 per monk level. But it's always been like kind of annoying because you tend to run out of key points, especially in early levels, really quickly. They come back on a short rest, but still. And you need key points to basically do anything. But apparently they're reworking it. And also, her name's Shadowheart. Shadow Monk. That would be amazing. Also, when you get Stunning Strike, level 5, it is a con saving throw based on your wisdom score. And because you're a cleric, you already have a pretty decent wisdom. So you'll have a higher DC than I feel like most monks would. But honestly, with Shadowheart only having a 14 dex, I feel like you're going full caster is probably the best. And if you're going to go with that, I recommend the light domain, especially if you want to be dealing some damage while also being a healer. I feel like light domain, it has, you know, you're still a cleric, you have all your basic, you know, healing word and cure wounds, and you have a lot of your healing utility, you know, bless. But one thing that's great about light domain, first of all, you're a little more tanky. You get this reaction ability, I think it's reaction, where you can impose disadvantage on attack rolls. And also, you have this like AoE light damage that's based on your cleric level. And then, yeah, you get access to a lot of spells that most clerics don't get. Why can't I find that? Yeah, you get access to Burning Hands, Fairy Fire, Flaming Sphere, Scorching Ray, Daylight, Fireball, Guardian Faith, Wall of Fire, Flame Strike, and Scrying. So Scrying you already get as a cleric, but you get Fireball level 5 as a cleric. So you're literally doing Fireball, just like Gale would do Fireball. And yeah, also one thing I forgot to mention about War Cleric is you also get proficiency in heavy armor, so you'll be a tankier Shadowheart. I will be streaming Baldur's Gate 3 on Friday, the day after release at 7 p.m. CST. I'm doing a Tactician mode Dark Urge run as a Warlock fighter, and that's my cat that you can probably hear in the background. But anyway, thank you all for watching. My Twitch channel link is in the description. All my other socials is in the description, and I hope to see you in the next video. Tomorrow I'll be releasing the next character. It'll probably be Astarion. So yeah, see you then.